Hey Credit Warriors, Credit Shuffle here. Now in our last video about all the rare Amex colors, we made a joke about a brown American Express card, all right? Well, there is actually a brown American Express card. It would have been cool to have it in that video, but I just thought that 5 as a number worked better rather than 6 rare Amexes. But I really should have included it and made it 6. But anyway, we're going to do a separate video to talk about it today, and that is none other than the American Express Harrods credit card, all right? It's actually a charge card, not a credit card. Now, I think that this possibly is the rarest Amex in the world, okay? One of the rarest, could even be the rarest. I'll explain why I think that probably at the end of this video. Now, this card is pretty exclusive, and it is only available to high-tier members of the Harrods Rewards loyalty program, okay? And it is invitation only, so you can't apply for it. If you look online, you know, there's forums like people on Flyer Talk asking like, where can I apply for the Harrods card? Like, there's no application link, okay? The only way to get it is you get sent, apparently it's a brown envelope that you get sent to your house, and that's the invitation, okay? But anyway, like we said, it's only available to high-tier members of the loyalty program. Let's now go through Harrods loyalty program and just check it out. Okay, so the Harrods Rewards loyalty program is as follows. There are 2 green tiers at the start, so green tier 1 and green tier 2. So green tier 1, you know, as soon as you apply, you are green tier 1, and there are just 3 benefits. Harrods Rewards exclusive discount days, extra rewards points on selected days, and invitation to mini Harrods. Not quite sure what that is, but anyway. Let's now go to green tier 2. So this is the first tier where you actually have to spend a certain amount of money, and you have to spend at least 2,000 British pounds a year, which is about 2,500 US dollars at current rates, May 2019. And you get, well, same as green tier 1, you earn 1 Harrods point per pound spent, but there are some extra benefits, okay? So you get a complimentary Harrods magazine, complimentary gift box, complimentary UK standard delivery. Now that is quite valuable, definitely, because if you live outside of London, you're not going to be going to Harrods that often. And then complimentary tea or coffee in store. Now, yeah, okay, that sounds cool. Although, if I remember correctly, at Harrods, they have a very large tea section where you can actually try and, you know, sample different teas and stuff. But, you know, maybe it means that in their restaurant, you can go and get a full cup of tea or something like that, all right? So anyway, let's move on to gold. So gold tier is for people who spend at least £5,000 a year. Now, you get 2 Harrods points per pound spent in the store. And you also get some additional benefits. So 2 selected 10% discount days. I'm going to skip one. Complimentary basic alterations, and now back to this one, eligibility for the Harrods American Express. Okay, so this is basically the only place that I could find that you'll see the Harrods American Express even mentioned on Harrods website. Okay, so they're really hush-hush about it, but they just sort of tease you with this like, oh, there's a Harrods American Express, all right. And now let's just have a look at the black tier up here. So the black tier is basically for people who spend over £10,000 a year, so that's about $13,000 or so, and you get 3 more benefits. You get anytime rewards points redemptions, invitation by appointment, I don't know what that is actually, and 2 hours complimentary parking. Now Harrods is right in the center of London, so you know, 2 hours complimentary parking is certainly a great benefit to have. And obviously, as you can see, you still have eligibility for the Harrods American Express. And you get upgraded, you get 3 points per pound spent at Harrods. Now, in the past, the Harrods American Express was apparently only available to people who had the top tier, the black tier of Harrods Rewards, but then later on they started opening it up to the gold tier as well. So let's look at the actual card itself. Now, you won't find, you know, terms and conditions on any Amex site. I looked through Amex's UK site, and it's not like the Centurion where you can actually find the terms and conditions on Amex's site, just because I think they're legally, you know, have to put the card member agreements up there. I was able to find a terms and conditions document, but it was through some, you know, weird site that just uploaded loads of PDF documents and stuff like that. So I was able to take a look at some of the fees. The annual fee is £150 per year. There's a £35 fee for additional cards. It is a charge card, so you have to pay your balance in full every month, and then obviously you'd have the usual late fees and stuff if you pay late, although I don't think many people with this card will be paying late. But what is surprising is that there's a 2.99% foreign exchange fee, which is like, what? This is crazy, okay? So actually, most British American Express cards have a foreign exchange fee of 2.99%. Even the Platinum, Gold and Platinum, not sure about the Centurion, but even the Gold and Platinum do. In the United States, most credit cards, you know, most serious credit cards with an annual fee will not have foreign exchange fees. Even some basic credit cards like the Capital One Platinum do not have foreign exchange fees. So it's quite surprising to see a foreign exchange fee on there. And so what are the benefits of the card? Well, it earns 1 Harrods point per pound spent in addition to what you earn as a Harrods Rewards member. So if you're a gold member, you get 2 points per pound plus 2 from the card. So it's 4 points per pound spent. And if you are a black tier member, you get 3 points per pound as a member, and then 2 additional points from the card for a total of 5 points per pound spent. The points are worth 1 British pence. The equivalent of cents in the UK is pence. And yeah, so when redeeming for, cashback or buying things at Harrods, they're worth 1 British pence. And apparently you redeem them in amounts of £5 at a time. So 500 points equals £5. I believe you can't redeem below that. But there is another benefit of this card. So when it was launched, it actually gave you a free night at the Ritz in Paris if you spend over £5,000 in any given year. Okay, now the Ritz Paris is a very expensive hotel. It's around 1,200 euros a night. So that's an incredible benefit, actually. But at that time, Harrods and the Ritz were owned by the same person, the same businessman, Mohammed Al Fayed. Okay. However, Mohammed Al Fayed sold Harrods to the Qatari Sovereign Wealth Fund in 2010, okay, for about 1.5 billion pounds. So after that time, it seems they changed this benefit, and you can now basically redeem 40,000 Harrods points for 1 night at the Ritz Paris. So from Mohammed Al Fayed's point of view, when he owned both businesses, he probably viewed it as a great way to cross-promote his businesses. But then after he sold Harrods and he only owned the Ritz, he probably just was more conscious of like, oh, I'm giving away all these free nights to people. I at least want something in return. So they changed it to you have to redeem 40,000 points. It is actually still quite a good redemption though. So if we look at the rates, so it's like we said, a standard room there will cost you 1,200 euros, which in British pounds, it's about £1,000, a little over £1,000. So I did the calculations, and if you redeem 40,000 points, it works out at 2.5 British pence per point, which in US money, that's 3.4 cents per point. So that is actually a pretty good redemption ratio, okay? We generally talk about like anything that's 1.5 or 2 cents per point or more is pretty good. So 3.4 US cents or 2.5 British pence per point is a pretty good deal, okay? And the Ritz in Paris, if you take a look at it, is a absolutely beautiful hotel. So yeah, awesome benefits still, but not as good as it once was. Now, what are some of the other benefits of this card? Now, to tell the truth, there aren't that many. I think it's a little bit similar to the Dubai First Royale card in that the people who have it are very wealthy and they don't really need a lot of, like point earning or free stuff or whatever because they've got enough money to buy it anyway. So with this card, they apparently focus more on experiences, and Harrods will analyze your spending if you have this card, and they will actually recommend experiences and things that you can go and do. Okay, so one example that was in one of the articles I read about this was that, if you like a certain brand, for example, Harrods may, they'll see your spending at a certain store that sells a certain brand, and they may think, well, let's try and organize something with that, and they'll organize for you to go and meet the designer or go to the factory or something like that. Now, obviously, these experiences probably still cost money, but they are invitation only. They're things that you otherwise might not be able to arrange. So the people at this sort of level of spending, they probably don't care that something costs a bit of money, but if they're able to have a unique experience that they wouldn't otherwise be able to arrange, that probably would be something that's quite valuable to the members of this card. Now, why do I think that it is probably the most rare Amex card, or at least one of the most rare Amex cards? Well, everyone knows the Centurion, the black card. It's pretty rare, but it's actually available in many countries across the world, all right? It's available in the United States, in Britain, in India, in many, many countries, all right? And I've met people with the Centurion, okay? I've met at least, I've talked to a few Centurion members online. I've once met one person in person when I was working as a waiter and, swiped his Centurion, etc. So it is a card that you see from time to time. However, the Harrods American Express, it's only available in the UK. What is more, it's only available to people who spend at least £5,000 or about 7,000 US dollars at Harrods, okay? So you need to be quite a big spender. Remember, Harrods is a luxury department store. It's not just a store for general spending. Like, I definitely spend £5,000 a year, even though I'm spending here in dollars, but £5,000 a year on groceries, right? But that's like grocery spending that you have to do. Harrods is basically a store that you don't need any of the things that are in Harrods. All right, they're all luxury items. Okay, so you know, it's a store that you would have to have quite a lot of income to be able to spend. So there are not that many people who are really going to be eligible for this card. Then what's more, Harrods only has one store in London, okay? They do have some like mini Harrods in airports and stuff like that, but they only have one large department store, and that is London. Obviously, you know, they do have a website you can order online and they'll ship to you, but there's only one store. So I'm guessing that probably a lot of the people who have this card are going to be concentrated around London, and in particular concentrated around Kensington and you know, well, Knightsbridge and Kensington and Chelsea, like the boroughs like right near where Harrods is, okay, which is actually where a lot of millionaires live in London, okay? It's a very upmarket area. So that's kind of the reason I think this is probably one of the least known Amex cards. And the amount of information about this online, it's very, very small. There's just a few blog articles on it. If you do an image search on it, you can kind of get an image and then follow through to an article. Some articles have hardly any information. Some are just repostings of other articles. There's really hardly any info on it. So I had to do quite a lot of digging, even to get the amount of information that I could get on this. So guys, I hope you have enjoyed this video. And if you have the Harrods Amex card, please leave a comment. Tell us about some of the benefits. Tell us if we got this right or wrong. I really would love to hear about that. And you know, maybe we'll do an update to this video in the future if we do get some interesting information about it. I do know that the card is still active though, because I did find up-to-date advertisements for certain events that card members were invited to join, like this one from last year. So we do know that this card is still active, but it's just very, very hard to find any information about it. All right, guys, thank you for watching this video. We will put some of the links to some of the best credit cards here in the US. So, you know, if you are watching this in the UK or anywhere else, this won't apply to you because we are US based. But yeah, some of our favorite credit cards in the US, we'll put that link below. You guys can compare them, check them out. Obviously the Harrods American Express won't be in there. It is invitation only. But yeah, please feel free to compare some of the credit card deals that are out there. As always, it is an affiliate link, so it helps out our show. And if you want to see the advertiser disclosure, it's in the bottom of the description section below. Thank you so much, guys. Please subscribe if you're new, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.